So it all started with the Secret Santa Game Jam 2024. You have 2 weeks to create a working game, and at the end you give it to another participant as a gift. On the first day of the jam, I was sent this letter in which my giftee, as they call him, telling me about his hobbies and things he likes. This is how you pick a theme for your game. You create the game around this letter, so every submission has a different theme basically. I focused mainly on the marching band part. I thought it would be a nice challenge to make a rhythm game. So here's where I made my first mistake. I didn't make a game design document. The game design document is almost like an instruction manual on building your game. It will make sure you focus on how to create your game and not on what to create. Without a game design document, I was adding features and changing my main goal constantly. This shouldn't happen when you're halfway in your game. Writing a game design document is definitely something I'll be doing every time I create a game. There's a bunch of templates you can find online, and you can even find examples from great games. So my plan was to create a rhythm game in which you are the leader of the marching band. You either play as a monkey or a nutcracker. You can choose normal mode using the spacebar on your keyboard or hard mode using the mouse buttons. The game starts and you need to keep the cadence walking. Otherwise, the parade float will catch up with you and you'll lose. Once the song starts, there will be cues on the instruments for you to hit at the right time. If you do it right, you get a point. If not, you lose a member of your band. You can regain one if you hit a note correctly, so band members act as your HP bar. If all members are gone, you lose. At the end of the song, Santa will come out of the chimney and judge if you can keep on playing or not. So yeah, what I just said is basically my game design document. Now here comes my second mistake. I had too many features and things I wanted to make. I wanted to have a crowd that reacts to my performance. I wanted good-looking environments with a different atmosphere, like going through a park, in the suburbs, or downtown. I wanted a lot of instruments and a bunch of songs. I wanted a more complex gameplay with different buttons to press. All of this might have been possible if I started by having the basic features done and building up from there. Which brings me to my next mistake. Hard coding. I was rushing through the development and wanted to put more focus on the modeling and animation part of the game. I didn't think about future-proofing my code, so I was stuck with having a hard time adding more songs or instruments. If I started with a better code for adding instruments, I could have spent more time on modeling more of them afterwards. So yeah, lesson learned. Make sure the code is future-proof to add to the gameplay in a more organic way. Yeah, talking about my focus on models and animations, well, that's a mistake. I started the game jam wanting to practice my modeling and animation skills, which is a great idea, but it should have been after having a working game. Using placeholders until you're happy with what you have and then starting to create the models is definitely what I'll be doing in my upcoming participation. I made plenty more mistakes, but here's the last one I want to make sure I learn from for my upcoming jams to get other people to playtest my game before I submit it. I had 2 weeks to submit the game to my giftee. That's plenty of time to ask friends to playtest the game, but I was never confident enough to let someone else try it or even see it. On the last day of the game jam, I asked my girlfriend to try it, and it really helped me find a lot of basic things I had to work on to make it enjoyable. You have to remember that you will know your game by heart and you won't see it the same way as someone who tries it for the first time. The gameplay has to be well explained or very intuitive for them, otherwise they won't have a good time and will stop playing. I learned this the hard way when watching a live stream of Gnomable on Twitch play my game. He was kind enough to give it a try and it was very satisfying and terrifying at the same time to watch someone you don't know try your game.
With W and D? This is supposed to be S. If W is moved forward, it should be S is moved backward. So it is S. The tutorial was incorrect. I did it! A full -1 out of 3. I went below 0. Like I said, I feel like the movement could have been entirely out of it. Oh, okay, so they actually have a collider too. Okay, I'm glad Santa was happy.
It lasted about 5 minutes and I learned a lot watching it. So yeah, you can't take for granted that your game is easy to understand and play. One thing I learned from watching him play my game is when he mentioned that my itch.io page should have gameplay screenshots on it. It was my first time publishing a game on itch and I didn't realize how important it is to make your game attractive if you want others to try it. Afterwards, I looked at other game pages in a different way, and marketing your game is definitely a big part of publishing it, even for a game jam. You also run into problems that will be out of your control in the meanwhile. One of my kids had a cold and I couldn't get anything done for that day. And also my giftee left the game jam, so I was assigned a different giftee with a different letter, which meant a different theme. But I was too deep into my game to start creating a new one, so I explained the situation to my new giftee and he didn't mind. The game jam was quite a journey, lots of fun, but also a lot of emotions. Sending the game to him was such a proud moment and also a relief. I could finally start thinking about the Christmas holidays and take a few days off to clear my head. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments which game jam you plan on joining and we might see each other over there.